Hello, everybody. This is Braxwolf, and I'm here to see what all the fuss is about on Landroval on the Bird and Baby Inn. Got a tweet earlier that the Tolkien Professor was going to be here, and he said he had some big LOTRO plans to announce. So, going to stop by and see what he has to say.
Okay. All right. So first, welcome to our second Mythgard Monday. I had a lot of fun last week, and I'm looking forward to getting out with everybody this week. But first, before we go out and do things, I wanted to explain to you guys the plan, sort of the big picture plan here, because we do have a plan. There's more than just like going out and having fun on Monday nights, though of course that's a fun perk to the plan. But here's what we're doing. What I have in mind is a three-stage thing. Okay, we have a three-stage plan. The ultimate goal of the plan, stage 3 of the plan, is I actually want to do an open course on LOTRO. So what I would really like to do is I want to do basically like it's in the Mythgard Academies, like in the Mythgard Academy series, an open course which goes through the different areas of the LOTRO world and focuses on we'll do readings from the Tolkien texts that are relevant to those parts. So we'll be thinking about the story as it evolved in Tolkien's mind, and then the sub-creative work that they're doing on LOTRO, in their adaptation of those stories and adding on to them. So I think that I think that's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to that. I think it'll be a fun way to introduce people to who aren't into LOTRO, to what LOTRO's about, as well as just being a lot of fun for people who do play to kind of dig more into the lore and do more reading of the primary text and discussion of that. So that's ultimately what I want to do. Now, in order to get there, what I need to do in order to get myself to a place where I could teach such a class, I need to have a really good, a pretty intimate knowledge of these areas, so that I can, tell the stories and make the connection with all the relevant texts and figure all that stuff out. I'm still a relative newbie. This is my first character. I'm level 53. There are about half the areas in the game I've never even entered yet. I've just finished book 7 of volume 1 of the Epic Quest. And even many of the areas I've been in, I haven't really sort of finished and familiarized, to my own satisfaction. So as I say, there are 3 stages, 3 phases. Phase 1 is going to be just me going through it once, to get my first acquaintance with it. I've been able to do that with a bunch of the areas. I'm pretty familiar with, with Bree and the North Downs and the Lone Lands, and to some extent the Trollshaws and Angmar, in the Misty Mountains. But there's a lot that I haven't done yet. And for me right now, the primary thing I want to do is finish working my way through the Epic Quest, which I know is going to not only take me further into Carn Dûm and everything, but also take me up to Forokel, which I haven't been to yet at all, and a bunch of other places like that. So anyway, so I definitely want to get through the Epic Quest, and then from there moving on, going down and doing Moria and Mirkwood and Rohan and Gondor and all the rest of that stuff. So just sort of moving through once for the first time, so that I have a familiarity with this stuff and see what's going on. That's phase 1. Phase 2 is once I have done that, once I've gone through and I have some sense of what I'm talking about and how to contextualize things, then I want to go back and I want to do stuff again. And ideally, what I would really like to do is to be able to go through things and really kind of read things carefully and take notes and all that kind of thing, which means I need to do all these things again at least twice, maybe 3 times, without fighting. So that is, I need a group of, I need to be able to team with a group of like 5 people who can protect me while I just sit around and sightsee and think and read and chatter and take notes. towards towards actually working out a reading and a class plan to cover this stuff. So you can see where you guys come into this. So basically, in the short term, you guys, of course, can be a big help because most of you are more experienced than I am and can help me get through these areas the first time. The second thing, of course, in the second phase, you guys will be even more crucial because you can, sort of guide and help and protect me and be my bodyguards, exactly, as we go through. So that's. This is the overall and then of course the third phase is actually running the class. Now, one other thing that I will mention as another little sort of perk of this is Trish and I just earlier this week were talking to the guys at Turbine. Actually, I guess it was the end of last week. We were talking to the guys at Turbine, and when we get to phase 2, when we're going through, and basically I'm going to be able to do like a sort of a running, chattering commentary as we go through, kind of a lore commentary, as we go through particular storylines or particular instances or quest areas and stuff. As we do that, we're going to be able to stream that on Turbine's channel, on the LOTRO Twitch channel. So they're going to promote it and cover it and broadcast it for us. So I think that could be a lot of fun. It's a way that we can sort of work together to sort of share stuff with people. And Turbine seemed really happy. To have a lot of that content. I think they're really interested in it. So even in phase 2, there will at that point begin to be sort of a more public angle to it. And then once we get to phase 3, then it will be sort of full academic mode and going through and having people do. Be looking. I'll be encouraging people to go to, to look through particular areas of the game, to read, Tolkien's texts, and then we'll have some discussions on those as we go. So, anyway, that is the plan. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts or suggestions about the plan? Okay, very good. Very good. Okay.
So if everybody is in favor of doing this, cheer all at one time. 1, 2, 3.
An enthusiastic response. Okay, Braxwolf. There you go.
You should have Verlin teach. You should have Verlin teach your classes in LOTRO from now on.
Exactly. See, she wants positive feedback. She can get fireworks. People standing on their heads.
I wish all my courses were on LOTRO. This is so awesome.
So, Braxwolf, you were asking about what's meant by an open course. Anybody can join at any time. Yeah. Our Mythgard Academy classes are, we schedule them to happen live at particular times so that everybody who can make it during those times, we can be in the live session. But we also, do video and audio recordings and post those available as free downloads for anybody. So not only can anybody, come and go and join in at any time, but that way people can also, download and watch or listen at any point in the future. So people can, can always have access to that. So that's the sort of general format. As far as actually how I'm going to conduct the class, whether I'm going to try to do some or who knows, maybe even all of it in game or what, I don't even really know. I haven't. There's a lot of the mechanics that I am not really certain about yet. But in any case, we'll sort that. We've got plenty of time to sort that out. But yeah. So
okay,
we'll
so now is it time to move on to having adventures?
Okay, well, I'm going to stop it right there. Excuse me, because I'm not going to be able to I'm only level 38. I'm not going to be able to make it to Angmar with them anyway. But you heard it here. The Tolkien Professor is going to be doing an open course in LOTRO, walking through some of the lands and talking through some of the texts. He's going to do it in 3 phases. And the first kind of a practice run through. The second time, going to actually start kind of practicing some of the texts and things and needs some escort help. And also going to do some Twitch streaming on the LOTRO channel at that time. And the third time is going to be the actual course, which will be open to anybody to join along, and I assume listen along like we just did to the webinar audio. So some cool LOTRO educational Tolkien opportunities coming up. Stay tuned for more of the details. It sounds like they still have some things to work out as far as technically how it's all going to work. But very cool. Thank you, Dr. Corey Olsen, for this opportunity, and we will see everybody, hopefully, at the course.